What if everything you've been doing to lose weight, feel better, and slow down aging has been aimed at the wrong target this whole time? What if the real reason your metabolism feels broken, your energy has crashed, and that stubborn belly fat just won't move? Isn't your diet, isn't your willpower, and isn't your genetics, but something happening deep inside your cells that nobody ever told you about? I know that sounds like a bold claim, but stay with me for the next few minutes because what you're about to hear is grounded in real science, and it has the power to completely shift how you see your body and what it's actually capable of. We're not talking about another supplement, another extreme diet, or another workout program that leaves you exhausted and frustrated. We're talking about one single day. One day where you give your body the right signals, and it starts doing something truly remarkable all on its own. And if you're new here, welcome to Real Logic, where we take real science and turn it into real results. Hit that subscribe button because today's video is one you are going to want to come back to. Let's start with something honest, something most health channels won't say out loud. The majority of people trying to get healthier are working incredibly hard and getting almost nothing in return. They're counting calories, cutting carbs, dragging themselves to the gym, spending money on supplements that make big promises and deliver almost nothing. And yet the fat stays. The belly doesn't shrink. The energy doesn't come back. The body doesn't change. And after a while, the most natural thing in the world happens. You start to believe the problem is you. You start thinking you're just not disciplined enough, not consistent enough, not doing it right. But here's the truth, and I need you to really hear this. The problem is not you. The problem is that everything you've been doing has been fighting the symptoms instead of fixing the actual root cause. And until you fix the root cause, nothing else is going to work. Not long-term, not in a way that actually sticks. So what is the root cause? What is the real reason behind the sluggish metabolism, the accumulating fat, the exhaustion that doesn't go away no matter how much sleep you get? According to emerging research that is only just beginning to enter mainstream conversation, the answer lies in something called stem cell decline. Now, before you tune out thinking this is a biology class, give me 60 seconds because this is the piece that changes everything. When you were young, your body was absolutely loaded with active stem cells. These aren't some abstract concept. They are tiny biological powerhouses running quietly in the background of everything your body does. They repair damaged tissue. They regulate how your metabolism runs. They reduce inflammation. They keep your fat-burning systems firing on all cylinders. When your stem cells are healthy and active, your body is a well-oiled machine. When they slow down, everything slows down with them, and that's exactly what's been happening to you. Here's where the science gets both sobering and incredibly hopeful at the same time. As you move through your 30s, 40s, and beyond, your stem cell activity starts to decline. Some studies suggest that by the time you reach 50, that activity has dropped by nearly 50%. Think about what that actually means. Half the repair power your body once had gone. Half the metabolic regulation reduced. Half the inflammation control weakened. And the frustrating part is that nobody tells you this is happening. You just start noticing that the things that used to work no longer work. The diet that helped you drop 10 pounds at 25 does almost nothing at 45. The workouts that used to leave you energized now leave you wiped out for days. You're not imagining it. Your biology has genuinely changed, and stem cell decline is a massive part of the reason why. But here is the part that should make you feel something close to relief. Your stem cells haven't disappeared. They've gone dormant. They're still inside you right now, waiting for the right signal to wake up. That one insight should shift everything, because it means your body isn't broken. It isn't working against you. It's waiting. It's sitting in a kind of biological standby mode, ready to spring back into action the moment you give it what it needs. Researchers have been studying this for years, and what they found is that there are specific natural triggers, things you can do without a prescription, without surgery, without spending a single dollar, that send a direct signal to dormant stem cells and tell them it's time to get back to work. When those cells respond, your metabolism starts to shift. Fat cells begin to break down. Inflammation starts to drop. Your body begins repairing itself from the inside out in a way that no supplement has ever been able to replicate. And the truly staggering part? This process can begin in as little as one day. One intentional, well-structured day is enough to start the cascade. Let's talk about exactly how. The first and most powerful trigger is fasting, specifically a short, intentional period of not eating. And before you immediately think, I can't do that, or I've tried that and it didn't work, let me reframe what fasting actually means in this context, because it's probably not what you think. We're not talking about starving yourself. We're not talking about skipping food for 3 days or following some extreme protocol that makes you miserable. What researchers at MIT discovered is that even a window of roughly 16 to 24 hours without eating is enough to trigger a profound metabolic switch inside your stem cells. During that fasting window, your body runs low on glucose, its usual quick-access fuel, and it begins shifting to burning stored fat instead. And in that shift, something extraordinary happens. Stem cells in your gut lining, your muscle tissue, and your fat deposits get activated. They wake up. They start regenerating. They start doing the repair work they were designed to do. One day of strategic fasting, and you are literally flipping a biological switch that most people don't even know exists. Now, fasting alone is powerful, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. The second trigger works hand in hand with fasting, and its name sounds more intimidating than it is. It's called autophagy, and once you understand what it does, you'll wonder why no one ever taught you about it sooner. Autophagy is essentially your body's internal deep cleaning system. The word itself comes from Greek and means self-eating. And while that sounds strange, what it describes is one of the most intelligent and beneficial processes your body is capable of. When autophagy kicks in, your cells begin identifying old, damaged, dysfunctional parts of themselves and breaking them down, recycling the raw materials to build new, healthy structures. Think of it like your body taking out decades of accumulated cellular trash and replacing it with fresh, clean infrastructure. And here's why it matters so much for stem cells specifically. Stem cells perform their best work in a clean, low-inflammation environment. When autophagy clears out the cellular debris, stem cells can move more freely, communicate more effectively, and do their job with far greater efficiency. Fasting triggers autophagy. Movement triggers autophagy. And there's one more trigger coming that ties it all together. The third trigger is the one that surprises people the most, and it's also the simplest to implement. It's cold exposure. And no, we are not talking about plunging yourself into an ice bath or standing in freezing temperatures for 20 minutes. We're talking about something as basic as ending your daily shower with 60 seconds of cold water. That's it. Just 60 seconds. Research has shown that even brief, intentional cold exposure activates something called brown adipose tissue, commonly known as brown fat. Now here's why this matters. Brown fat is completely different from the regular fat you're trying to lose. It's metabolically active, meaning it actually burns energy to generate heat rather than just storing it. When brown fat gets activated, it doesn't just burn calories on its own. It sends direct chemical signals to your stem cells, encouraging them to become more active and responsive. Cold exposure also does something else critically important. It lowers systemic inflammation. And chronic, low-grade inflammation, the kind most people carry around without even realizing it, is one of the single biggest suppressors of stem cell activity in the entire body. Reduce the inflammation, and you remove one of the biggest roadblocks standing between you and a functioning, responsive metabolism. So now let's bring all of this together into something you can actually use. A practical, doable, one-day protocol that doesn't require any special equipment, any expensive products, or any superhuman willpower. The morning starts with the fast. You wake up, you skip breakfast. Yes, I know that contradicts everything we were told growing up, but the science here is genuinely compelling, and you give your body the gift of a fasted state. Water is your best friend during this window. Black coffee is fine. Green tea is fine. Anything without sugar, cream, or calories keeps the fast intact and lets your body continue doing its work. The reason this morning window is so powerful is that your body has already been fasting overnight while you slept, so by the time you wake up, you're already several hours in. You're not starting from scratch. You're continuing a process that's already underway, and that makes the activation of stem cell growth factors happen faster and more efficiently than you might expect. Mid-morning, you move. And again, let's be clear, this isn't about punishing yourself with an intense workout that leaves you collapsed on the floor. A 20 to 30-minute walk is genuinely enough. What matters most here is that you are moving in a fasted state, because that combination is where the magic really happens. When your body is already in fat-burning mode from the overnight fast, and you add low-intensity movement on top of it, you force your body to pull even more deeply from those stored fat reserves for energy. And research has shown that exercising in a fasted state significantly amplifies the release of stem cell growth factors. The chemical messengers that tell your body repair mode is activated. You are not just burning calories on that walk. You are sending a system-wide biological signal that your body has been waiting to receive. After 16 to 18 hours of fasting, it's time to eat. And what you eat in this window matters enormously, possibly more than any other meal you'll have all week. Your cells are primed and open. They are ready to absorb nutrients at an amplified rate, which means the quality of what you put in has a magnified effect, both for better and for worse. You want to feed your stem cells the raw materials they need to keep working. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and arugula are essential. They're loaded with compounds that directly support cellular regeneration. Omega-3 rich foods like salmon, sardines, walnuts, and flax seeds reduce inflammation and give your cells the structural fats they need. Antioxidant-rich fruits like blueberries, pomegranate, and dark cherries protect your newly activated stem cells from oxidative damage. And quality protein, eggs, chicken, legumes, gives your body the building blocks it needs to actually carry out the repairs that are now underway. What you must avoid in this window is just as important. Processed sugar, refined seed oils, and ultra-processed foods directly suppress stem cell activity and flood your system with inflammation. After everything your body just did during the fast, putting junk in is like cleaning your house and then immediately throwing garbage all over the floor. And then, as the day closes, comes the final piece, the cold. At the end of your evening shower, you turn that dial toward cold for the last 60 seconds. You breathe through it. You stay steady. And in that 60 seconds, you activate your brown fat, you send an anti-inflammatory signal through your entire system, and you create the ideal internal environment for your stem cells to do their deepest work while you sleep. This is not a small thing. Sleep is when stem cell activity peaks. It's when your body does the majority of its repair and regeneration. By reducing inflammation and activating brown fat right before bed, you are essentially setting the stage for your biology to perform at its highest level overnight. You wake up the next morning in a body that has genuinely been working on your behalf all night long. Now let's be completely real about what one day can and cannot do. You will not lose 20 pounds overnight. Anyone telling you something like that is lying to you, and you deserve better than that. But here is what genuinely, measurably begins to happen in a single day done right. Your insulin levels drop, which makes it significantly easier for your body to access and burn stored fat. Autophagy kicks in, and your body starts clearing out the cellular debris that's been accumulating for years. Inflammation begins to pull back, removing one of the most stubborn obstacles to both fat loss and energy restoration. Stem cells wake from dormancy and begin the process of metabolic repair. Growth hormone levels spike, helping your body preserve lean muscle mass while it burns fat for fuel. Many people report feeling noticeably lighter, clearer-headed, and more energized after just one day of this protocol, and that's not wishful thinking. That is your biology responding to the right signals in real time. The most important thing to understand is that one day creates momentum. Not just physiological momentum, though that is absolutely real, but psychological momentum. When your body actually feels different after one intentional day, something shifts in how you see yourself and what you believe is possible. You stop feeling like someone who's been failed by every health approach they've ever tried, and you start feeling like someone whose body is responding, finally, to the right approach. Most people who experience this once want to do it again, not because they're forcing themselves to, but because they feel the difference. And when you build this protocol into 2 or 3 days a week consistently, the results compound in ways that are genuinely transformative. Fat loss accelerates. Energy stabilizes. Inflammation continues dropping. And your body, slowly but unmistakably, begins to function the way it was originally designed to. Your stem cells are not gone. They are not beyond reach. They are waiting. And now you know exactly how to wake them up.